Hello, welcome back to Chris's Beer Reviews. How are you? Hope you're all doing really well. So we're back with another perfect draft beer review, and we're going to be reviewing the Leffe Rituel 9. But before we do the beer review, I thought I'd show you this wrap or skin that I've put on my PD and see what you think about it. I don't mind if you like it or hate it. I like it. So yeah, I thought I'd give you a quick pan of the skin. So it's a Marvel's Avenger skin. We're big Marvel's Avenger fans in this house. So yeah, we've got the shield that goes across on the drip tray. Moving around the back, we've got Thor, which is my wife's favourite character. A couple on there. A little bit on the top. There is part of the skin that comes down across here and all the way down, but I really like the chrome look, so I left that bit off. And there was another sticker that's supposed to go all the way around the bottom of the drip tray. I did put it on and I took it off. It looked just a bit too much, a bit too cheesy really. And then round the side, there we've got Iron Man, a couple of other characters, Samuel Jackson there as well. So yeah, pretty cool skin. This skin came from Perfect Draft Skins, found them on Facebook, ordered it through them. Really quick service from them as well, came up very quickly. And then we've got the medallion on the top. This part here is known as the medallion, if you didn't know that. They come out, you can get interchangeable ones. So yeah, we've got the, is that focus, Leffe Rituel 9 medallion sitting on the top of there as well. Trying to do it all one-handed, trying to get that back on there. So yeah, let me know what you think. Whether you like it, whether you don't, whether you think people should put skins on them or not. I do actually like the Perfect Draft, just in its plain black format, but I thought I'd decorate it with a skin, and we're all Marvel fans, as I've said, in this household. So let's change the camera back up, and let's crack on with the Leffe review. I'll be back in a sec. Hello. Back round in front of the camera. I did a beer review the other day. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was the Dooge's Caramel Crunch. And I watched it back and I thought, my God, Chris, you half look bored at the beginning. Bored and miserable. So apologies if I looked bored and miserable at the beginning of that review. I thought I did. Hopefully I didn't look as bored. I wasn't bored, but just thought I looked it. I thought I looked really bored, and that must be really awful to watch. That's what I thought when I watched it back anyway. So trying to be a bit more smiley for this one. So yeah, we're doing the Leffe Rituel 9. So it's 9% ABV, so a big ABV type beer. And Leffe beers, or ales, Belgian beers, whatever you want to call them, I generally quite enjoy most of the Leffes. So it made sense to buy the big one, the Leffe Rituel 9. So we're going to put it in a Leffe glass as well. There it is. And something else I just want to sort of talk about with Perfect Draft. And I know this is meant to be a beer review, and I've showed you a skin. I'm now going to talk about pouring beers. If you go on Facebook groups about Perfect Drafts, a lot of people ask about how to pour the perfect PD pint or beer, and I'm no expert. I've not had this long, and there's so many people that go on about you should use a glass that's been in the freezer or wet the glass first, and I haven't bothered with any of that. I just make sure I've got a glass. I make sure it's clean. Certainly for the first one, if I have another one, it's going in the same glass. I don't wash the glass in between, and I just pour, and I've not had a problem with massive big foamy heads. So I don't buy into all of this. You must have a wet glass first and a frozen glass or whatever. But if that works for you, then happy days. But let me know how you do it. You know, do you end up with big heads on your pint? Let me know. So let's just, I'm now going to pour this in front of you. So let's just hope I don't get this all completely wrong and end up with a huge head and hardly any beer. So let's crack on. I'm waffling, just chatting rubbish. So let's crack on. So I'll pour it. Hopefully you'll be able to see. I normally do it that way, but I'll do it this way so you've got a clearer view. I do hold the glass at the 45 degrees until you can't anymore. And there we go. I'll wait for that to finish. It'll stop in a second. There you go. It's all stopped. So yeah, you know, there's no, the glass was bone dry. It was clean. and I just pour, and I don't seem to end up with these huge heads. The only two kegs I've had previous are the Jupiler, and I didn't have any real issues with big heads on there. And then the second keg that I had was Hogarden, and again, I never had any real issues with big foamy heads. I don't know. Let me know. Anyway, let's have a look at the Leffe Rituel 9. There it is. Nice and cold, 3 degrees. 3 degrees for this type of beer is probably, well, it is. It's too cold. But it is what it is with the PD. It is a nucleated glass, so we have got a nice jet of bubbles rising up right in the centre of that beer, which is where the nucleated mark is on the bottom, the etching of the glass. Just kind of hanging on to that sort of little head. Nice sort of amber in colour. Looks quite nice. Let's see how she sniffs. And yeah, you get that typical Belgium sort of aroma. Bearing in mind it's 9%, not really getting much booziness on the aroma. Only a slight amount, but it does have those kind of traditional Belgium smells. You get that sort of candied fruit, clovey. Smells really nice. Smells really, really good. Let's crack on with how she tastes. Cheers, everybody. That's really good. That is very, very nice. Now I'm going to give you a confession. I chill the kegs in the fridge overnight before I put them in, and then I whack them in. Get up in the morning, whack it in, go to work, come home, put it in. It doesn't take long to drop to 3. When it dropped to 6, I did have a the mouthfeel is so good. When it dropped to 6, that was when I first tried it. So this isn't my first try of it. And at 6 degrees, I think it was colder than 6 degrees, but the way this works and the plate at the bottom probably hadn't quite got there. The flavours are a bit more pronounced than it is at that 3 degrees. But it's still really good actually at 3 degrees. The mouthfeel's really good. That's really got a good mouthfeel. And it's a bit strange because it's sweet yet dry. It's got a white wine, a good crisp white wine dryness to it. And I like a good crisp, dry white wine. And it's got elements of that. It's got elements of that dry white wine. Nice sort of white grape sort of taste to it as well. But it's got a lovely sweetness that kind of just works with that dryness. And it does make your mouth kind of looking for a bit of moisture, making you want to go back for more. Picking up bits of vanilla as well. It's definitely wine-like. It really is white wine-like. Definitely white grapey. And there's little hints of vanilla. I do get little hints of vanilla. You are getting the kind of candied fruits in there as well. But they're quite light compared to sort of the grapey white wine dryness that's going on. There's definitely a vanilla thing going on in there for me. Along with that white wine type grapiness. With some candied fruits. There is definitely a kind of pepperiness going on in there as well, but that's really quite light. And it is all just very, very well balanced. And I know a lot of people don't always like Leffe because they're owned by AB InBev, but that is really, really good. The mouthfeel's incredible. Really, really nice. There's good news and bad news with this. The bad news is you don't really pick up on that 9%. That's the bad news. Might not be bad news to you. So in the bad news sense, is that means if you're not really picking up on that 9%, it could be a very, very dangerous beer because you could just keep drinking it. However, the good news is I don't think you can. I don't think you could, even though you don't get that 9%, I don't think you could crack on and drink glass after glass of that, because the mouthfeel, whilst it's really nice, and it does dry your mouth out a little bit, excuse me, it's also got a bit of a rich feel to it, quite a rich element. You can really kind of feel it in your cheeks, kind of a richness to it. It's definitely got a bit of a, I've said this before with some beers, a Christmas vibe to it. It's a bit Christmassy, and it's really nice, and it's relaxing. It's a nice, relaxing, slow drinking beer. So yeah, that 9% is really, really well hidden in there. But I don't believe that you'd want to session it, and I don't believe you could session it because of the way that mouthfeel is. It's rich. I think even if you went through had a second, I think that'd be all right. Have a third, I think you'd struggle to finish the third because of the way that makes your mouth feel and that richness to it as well. But it's a fantastic beer, absolutely fantastic. And it's out of the 3 kegs that I've had, like I said, I've had Jupiler, Hoegaarden, and now this. It's difficult to say which one's the best because they're just 3 different styles of beer. You know, the Jupiler's a lager, the Hoegaarden's a wit beer, white beer, you know, and this is a Belgian ale. But this is really good. I didn't like the Hoegaarden, and I struggled to finish the keg with the Hoegaarden. I was forcing myself to drink that. But this is very, very nice. I'm on 28 days. It's going to take me a while to get through this keg because of that richness to it. You just couldn't session this, and you'd be crazy to session it. It's not that type of beer. But really, really nice. Really, really good. Well pleased I bought that. That's fantastic. I'm all done. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Cheers. Bye now.